From all over the island of Ireland they have come, 24 exceptional stories of success. Their families, friends and colleagues have gathered, but there can only be one winner. It's the highlight of the business calendar. It's the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hosts for the evening, Mark Little and Catherine Thomas.
Annual Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. Tonight we celebrate the journeys of a group of extraordinary entrepreneurs, men and women who successfully steered their businesses and their communities to a better place.
Now, our 24 finalists tonight have chosen a different road because they don't think in straight lines. They can't think in straight lines. They actually relish the twists and the turns. And they're mapping a better working world, a better Ireland for all of us.
Now, it's been a year of so much hope, with so much talk of turning corners. We've had a summer of sunshine that went on all the way to October.
We had a budget where there was actually a little money to be spent.
We had a football team in the north sitting pretty at the top of their table.
And a football team in the south who repaid the Germans with interest.
Certainly. There's a sense, once again, that you'll never beat the Irish.
Well, tonight, however, there's only one finalist that can see off the competition and bring home the top prize. Making the presentations will be Mike McCurr, Managing Partner of EY, and Richard Bruton, the Minister for Jobs, Enterprise and Innovation.
Of the three categories, emerging, industry and international. And from these three winners will come the overall Entrepreneur of the Year for 2014.
Well, the responsibility of making the decision is in the hands of an independent judging panel, many of whom are former winners themselves. But what exactly is the magic dust for which they're sweeping?
We're very, very much looking at the individual and the passion and belief and commitment that individual has, the integrity of that individual, and how that individual can actually go and really develop their business further and further and further. That's a difficult challenge for the judges, and not all judges form the same view.
Taking an old idea and actually transforming it in a very simple way with the use of technology and then scaling at a massive pace. I just think that's fantastic.
We're looking for a star of Irish business. We're looking for a role model. Are we looking for somebody who's just built a fantastic business that we like? Yeah, there's lots of different tastes, lots of different opinions, but ultimately we've got to find ourselves a winner in each category and an overall winner who will represent entrepreneurship in Ireland.
We're looking for somebody who's thought of a brilliant business idea that they can scale, that they can build on. A personality that is durable, because being an entrepreneur is kind of up and down, and somebody that can really create a business that is profitable and will be there in 10 or 20 years as they reinvent themselves and their business.
I think when you look at somebody, really the question I ask is you know, what makes them buzz, what makes people tick? And that's really what you have to look at, because if people have a passion and a love for what it is they do, the chances are they'll be very good at it.
It really boils down at the end of the day to meeting the entrepreneur, to seeing the hunger and the passion that's in his or her eyes. The winner is really the guy who's got that spark, that hunger, and really shines out above everybody else.
You meet them face to face and you feel the passion and you feel the drive, and it's so hard to call until the very end. And you know, we hope we do the right thing. We're all here to do just the right thing, to give these people the place in the stars they deserve.
And you're going to hear that word passion an awful lot tonight, because it is the secret to success, coming there from the independent judging panel who have been there, done that, And knowing a few of them, they probably sold a T-shirt at high margins. Certainly Jerry Kennelly right there. Under the exacting scrutiny of these experienced eyes, which of tonight's candidates will pass the test? Let's meet the first 4 finalists in the emerging category.
Jerry McKernan and Tony Judge's enterprise Clubs to Hire takes the worry, hassle and cost out of teeing off abroad. At 20 European locations, they provide the tools of the trade to grateful golfers at their airport of choice.
Being an entrepreneur is a very lonely place because at the end of the day, the buck stops with you. And that, you know, if it's successful, yeah, that's great. And so everybody wants a piece of that success. If it's a failure, the soothsayers typically say, I told you so.
We never really thought of failure, I'll be honest with you, when we went into it. We always thought it was going to work. We felt it was going to work. It has worked, but there's been a lot of blood, sweat and tears put into it. It just doesn't happen overnight.
An entrepreneur is just stubborn and driven, doesn't think about failure, and if there is a speed bump, which we all hit along the way, you get over it.
Business is like life. It's, you know, you have great days and you have mediocre days, and it's how you deal with them and how your team deals with them and the management within the team, and that defines how you move on.
The brains behind Movidius, David Maloney and Sean Mitchell, develop state-of-the-art semiconductor chips, powering everything from next-generation phones to robotic space rovers.
We have a hugely committed team who, without being asked, you know, work every hour that God sends. It would be, I think, very satisfying for them to get some recognition for that.
Vision without execution is hallucination, and in this case, you know, we provided the vision part, but the team provided the execution.
With 70 employees, Aspire Technology helps mobile operators make efficient use of their networks. Founder Bill Walsh was a late conversion to the gospel of entrepreneurship.
I remember in my first job doing this Start Your Own Business course, and that's 30 years ago. So I'm a slow starter, I guess. I didn't have the guts, I didn't have the courage. And it was through unemployment that I started my business. I was made redundant in 2009, and I decided there and then that I'd follow my dream. If I can succeed starting at 47 years of age, any younger, smarter kids out there, if I can do it, then it's possible.
Brendan O'Driscoll and Aidan Sliney have hit the high notes with their music discovery company Soundwave, a star performer in Ireland's thriving tech sector.
I definitely think that no matter what type of entrepreneur you are, it's all about growing, and it's all about becoming better and better, and just surrounding yourselves with the right people and getting as much advice from as many people as possible just to grow your knowledge and just become a better and stronger entrepreneur.
It's touching.
Touching thoughts indeed from first cousins Brendan O'Driscoll and Aidan Sliney. But which of the entrepreneurs are within touching distance of the winning post?
When his family's printing business ran into trouble, Terry Fox founded Cupprint. 5 years on, the company employs over 50 people in Ennis and manufactures 8 million paper cups a month.
There's always elements of luck, but it's really about ambition and above all, persistence. We didn't sit around for weeks on end saying, I'm unemployed. Even though technically we were, you start doing something. And we picked the right route. It was, at the time, it didn't look like it, but it was the only route left to pick. And if you believe in the product and believe in what you're doing is right, and you know there's something in it, then it's worth doing and it's worth pulling off. But it was amazing to see from the very beginnings how to start a company and how to end up with something that you can hang your hat on and be able to say, I'm a proud employer of Irish people in this country.
It's just 2 years since Oisin Hanrahan co-founded Handy, but the company has already launched in 25 North American cities. His customers can book everything from cleaners to plumbers to electricians at the tap of an app.
Look, I think I just enjoy building things. So whether it's building a team or building a company or building a building, I just enjoy the building part of the business. So right now it's about building an incredible team as quickly as possible and building, a great consumer experience.
Andrew Murphy's enterprise, Launcher Healthcare, harnesses software to improve the performance of healthcare providers and ultimately to improve the delivery of services to their patients.
When I started Sloancha, I didn't have a background in healthcare. I had a background in engineering and manufacturing. I was used to using technology to drive out potential sources of error, to drive up quality. I'm extremely passionate about what I see we can do to improve the healthcare process. And that end client is ultimately the patient. So I feel very strongly, whether it's improving the financial position of the healthcare provider or improving, how they deliver clinical care, that the use of technology can make a dramatic impact on how a patient is ultimately treated. And we're all going to be patients at one stage in our lives.
Corkonian Pat Phelan is the founder of TrustDev. His company's technology combats fraud online using digital fingerprints to verify a customer's identity.
I've built companies that were successful. The one we're building now can actually change global e-commerce on a worldwide scale, and I think that part of it is pretty incredible. I could never have imagined this. I've 2 qualifications. I'm a butcher and a chef. Would I like to win? Absolutely. I'm here to win.
Carving an inspirational future from a storied past.
Well, to announce the winner in the emerging category, please welcome 2 members of the judging panel, Michael Carey and Pádraig O'Cada.
The emerging entrepreneurs are the rising stars who have blazed a trail across the sky of Irish business.
And the 2014 Emerging Entrepreneur of the Year is Terry Fox Cupprint.
And can I just tell you what the judges said? Let me tell you what the judges said about Terry Fox. Terry is an inspirational young role model for a new generation of entrepreneurs. While on the ropes and facing unemployment, he dug deep, starting an innovative export business and creating sustainable Irish jobs in Ennis, County Clare.
Well, if you think I've something prepared, you must be joking. And the reason why I say that, I was involved in an emerging category, and someone said it was the strongest emerging category for years and years. And I had the pleasure of meeting all these other entrepreneurs, and it fills me with great pride to be picked out of these guys, to be up here and holding this in front of me. It's a dream come true. But really, look, I'm the captain of a team. I'm picking this up on behalf of the team that are back in Ennis. The lads who work very hard every day, 24 hours a day. I'm also picking up this on behalf of the lads in Germany, the Cupprint team out there. I'll say a special thanks to my wife and my kids for being so patient. I hope the kids are in bed. Owen and Grace, you know where you are. And I'd like to thank my mum and dad for bringing me up with an entrepreneurial spirit that I can take on and hopefully pass down through the generations. So look, thank you very much for everything. It's fantastic.
I always say behind every great entrepreneur is a really patient family. Well, that's the first of tonight's 3 category winners, Terry Fox of Cupprint. And Terry is now eligible. Yeah, deserved applause. And as a category winner, Terry is eligible now to become this year's overall Entrepreneur of the Year. But that's a bit later.
He certainly is. All right, 12 months ago, it was Patrick Joy of SureTank who claimed the top prize, earning him the right to represent Ireland at the World Awards in Monaco, no less. Let's see how his adventure unfolded.
It is a celebration not of me, it's a celebration of the company and of everybody in the company. But Monte Carlo is special. I've never been here before. I think it's a beautiful place. And it's been fantastic because a lot of my family have come out here.
Patrick is just a fantastic competitor. You know, the company he built, SureTank, is the world's largest manufacturer of tanks for transporting chemicals. It's a fantastic story, built out of County Louth. He's just a great competitor for us.
Massively excited. Isn't it a fantastic occasion? Really, nothing like it before we've ever been at.
This year's finalists here in Monte Carlo are an incredible group of people. Collectively, they generate $32 billion of turnover. They employ over 200,000 people. And over the last 3 years, perhaps most importantly, they've created 59,000 new jobs, which is just an incredible achievement.
It will be the icing on the cake, of course, if you're announced, you know. But if it happens, it happens.
I am pleased to announce 2014 World Entrepreneur of the Year, Uday Kotak from India.
Look, everybody's a winner here. The very fact that we're here is a tremendous accolade.
That was Patrick Joy performing with pride on the international stage.
So come back to us after the break when we'll be announcing the cast for the sequel. See you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back to the EY Entrepreneur of the Year, where the banner has already been raised for County Clare by Terry Fox in Cupprint. They're celebrating all over there, and right they should be. It looks like they're going to be celebrating through into the night. But the question is, which of Terry's fellow finalists should be warming up their voice for their victory speech in the industry category?
For over 4 decades, Ian Wilson has been the driving force behind one of the largest auction houses in Ireland and the UK. With more than 300 full-time staff, his business is all about people.
I am pleased where I am, and I'm pleased where the company is. I'm so pleased that I have such a good team around me. But I can see that I have so many people that would stay on to the next day to see a job through. That's very rewarding. They would stand beside me as long as I would stand.
With 60 people directly employed, the Glenisk brand has come a long way in a short time, but it has never wandered far from the values and roots of its birthplace on the Cleary family farm.
I guess our father would have been the original entrepreneur at 62. When most people are thinking of, as it were, hanging up their boots, he started a project and another project. And I believe if anything it has taught me, you're never too old to start again. And we are constantly reinventing ourselves as an organisation.
Complacency isn't a word in the Glenisk or Cleary dictionary, because the day that we become complacent is the day that we start going backwards. So we're always up for the challenge, we're always seeking new challenges to get us over and to get us beyond to where we are today.
With 11 own brand stores located all around the country, Kilkenny Group is a formidable force in Irish retail and design. For Marion O'Gorman and her son Greg, their focus remains crystal clear.
You've got to get up and fight, and you've got to innovate, and you've got to recreate, and you've got to invest and reinvest.
Recruit good people, because if you bring in ideas, it always helps the business.
From 2 sites in Kilrea and Antrim, Mark Hutchinson has led his business to become one of Northern Ireland's leading laser cutting manufacturers.
My position has changed completely over the last 5 or 6 years. I started in the company from the shop floor and worked my way up. I would still be very technically minded. I really like new technology and what we're doing, but I think you have to condition yourself, and in order to be a good leader, you have to step back from the business and take an overarching view and really work on the business rather than in it. We currently employ 85 people, and I am conscious that those 85 people have families, they have mortgages, they have other debts, so as such they are relying on me as a leader. I suppose the biggest fear, I believe, for any entrepreneur is failure. We always want to succeed and we always want to continue, and the fear of failure is probably as good a motivating factor as any.
Mark Hutchinson there, whose business is booming, and we can safely say He's certainly going to grow his numbers this year. His first child is due in a few weeks' time. In just a few minutes, we'll discover if Mark has to find place for a trophy among the growing clutter of bottles and nappies. And let's meet our next 4 expectant entrepreneurs.
Armagh's Kestrel Foods is the brainchild of husband and wife team Michael and Lorraine Hall. They share the harvest from their eye-catching brands with ethical suppliers all over the world.
I feel that we're a stronger couple as a result of working together.
I would agree with that. I think in this case definitely the whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
And we'll not mention the fact that on our honeymoon we ended up going to a cashew nut factory for a day, but that's by the by.
Ian Haldane was only 27 when he took control of the Haldane Shields Group, but he has grown it into one of the island's largest suppliers of timber, building and plumbing materials.
It's not about money, it's about the willingness and want to try and do better. And I think that's what drives an entrepreneur, makes them get out of bed in the morning, have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, have a clear strategy of how you're going to achieve it, and have a good team to implement it. And above all, keep your team motivated at all times. Don't be scared of making the odd mistake, because it'll happen. Listen to what your team are saying. You don't have all the ideas and thoughts yourself, and use your ears and mouth in proportion.
Pat McCann heads up Delata plc, the company behind many of Ireland's best-known hotels. With the ambitions and funds to expand rapidly, this success story is only beginning.
There's a famous saying that if you enjoy your work, you'll never work a day in your life. And I suppose I've been extraordinarily lucky in that I don't remember a day when I got out of bed and I said, I hate what I have to do today. I don't remember a day like that.
John Purdy co-founded IT company Ergo 20 years ago. A mantra of embracing change has helped him and his 200 employees to grow turnover to almost €25 million.
For me, an entrepreneur is somebody who looks at a hill, climbs it, then looks at the next one and the one after that and the one after that, and has this blind focus on achieving the best that he and his team can be. Obsession about being the best, obsession about customer service, obsession about going the extra mile when nobody else wants to go that extra mile. They're my kind of traits. I'm humbled that I've been part of the 24. I've made some really great friends over the last couple of months, but I haven't turned up in Wembley on final day just for the experience. I've turned up to win.
And the competitive juice is flowing strongly there.
Absolutely. Now to announce who has won the industry category, will you please welcome John McManus of the Irish Times, Maireadh Nuan of RT Television and Bobby Kerr of News Talk.
The industry category showcases the way in which experienced Irish entrepreneurs have survived and thrived, often against the odds.
When times get tough, real leaders stand up and stand out.
And the 2014 Industry Entrepreneur of the Year is John Purdy of Ergo.
Over the course of 2 decades, John has continuously reinvented himself and his business to keep growing in an industry that never stands still. These leadership qualities are what makes him the 2014 Industry Entrepreneur of the Year.
Well, Terry, if you had nothing arranged, by God, I haven't. Wow. So, thank you, judges. Thank you, Ernst & Young. Thanks to my wonderful colleagues in Ergo, who do it every day, and then some more. To our customers who support us, and it's the reason why we exist, is because of our customers. To my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful wife, who was my biggest supporter. She stood by me when it was really tough and got me through. To my two great sons, Conor and Keane, to my friend and co-founder, Tim, who was a great mentor to me over the years. I thank you all. This is for the 200 people in Ergo. My mother, God rest her, was a wonderful support when I told her that we were starting a business. And I said, what happens if it fails? And her answer was, she'll go again. Just get up and go again if it fails. And she is the initial inspiration behind what we do. So thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Great to see the family as well.
Granny Purdy. So, Granny Purdy smiling down.
Absolutely. Entrepreneurs are always chasing their vision with gusto, but so often it seems that people just don't share their determination to find new paths, or don't even see the possibility of working in new ways.
Now, one of the things I love about the EY program as I've got to know it is that as our nominees, the Entrepreneur of the Year, these 24 finalists enter much more than a competition. They enter a community of people who see and think in the same way. Last May, they traveled together to Canada and the United States to share their unique perspectives with the world.
This week is actually the largest unofficial trade mission that will leave the shores of Ireland in 2014. Our entrepreneurs that are with us here are absolute brand ambassadors for Ireland Inc.
All of the entrepreneurs between them, they have in the region of 200,000 people employed in Ireland. That's more people that's employed in the tourism industry in all of Ireland.
Awaiting the entrepreneurs on the Pacific Coast is a week of world-class executive education, VIP visits to leading local companies, and of course, the wisdom and company of each other.
For a lot of us, it's close as we get to executive training. You know, you've done all of the courses, so you're meeting your peers in different businesses, and it's a reboot. It's good for the soul.
You get refreshed. You get your mind reawakened, and you get a chance just to step back from the hectic busyness of the day job.
They help each other around some of the issues that they might be having, and that's only good for Ireland Inc. and it's only good for the growth of their businesses.
What I'm trying to show you in this process is something incredibly important about the intersection of branding and culture. You know, the very best entrepreneurs are people who are not settling for the status quo. They want something better. They want to make their business better. They want to do something better. And these people are all over that.
Halfway through the week, the Irish entrepreneurs cross the border and travel south, from Vancouver to Seattle. At City Hall, the Irish delegation is warmly received as foundations of friendship are built on common ground.
I think that we share something in common, that Washington State is not in the New York, DC hub or California. And of course, Ireland's also somewhat geographically isolated. I think it forces business people to be more entrepreneurial, to actually think innovatively. And hopefully they will learn about some of our businesses. You know, little businesses like Starbucks that used to be a corner coffee store that's now every place.
We've come out this morning to the Boeing factory here in Seattle. Those airplanes cost, if anyone is interested, short change, about $240 million, and that's without the engines.
Here we go. Ready?
We're a very small nation, a small country. That forces us to be very competitive. If you're successful in Ireland in any business, you're competitive, right? You take that level of competitiveness and you take it abroad, and it performs very well.
The days of worrying about, oh, you're from this little island. No, celebrate the fact you're in this little island, and the world is your opportunity.
We should be really proud of our Irish entrepreneurs. We need to have more confidence on the island of Ireland that we can compete with the absolute very best anywhere around the world, all of the time.
Well, that's proof that the thirst and ambition of Irish entrepreneurs knows no frontiers. Our next category acclaims those international businesses that are already exporting a unique brew of optimism.
Brian Crowley set up healthcare recruitment company TTM Group. It's grown to almost 1,000 permanent and temporary staff, and this year will book revenues approaching €40 million.
I was lucky enough to play a lot of sports at an underage level and went on to, in one sport in boxing, to represent Ireland internationally. From my sporting background, I think there's a massive emphasis on team and on the group. We have some spectacular individuals in our company, but together they're much better. Most competitions are not won on the pitch, they're won months previous in the rain and the snow and the gym and the sweat. It's the same in business. If you can do the right things well, consistently, you're going to be successful. I'm ferociously competitive. I started an organisation just with myself and grown to nearly 1,000 people now between temporary and permanent staff. I always like to beat the big boy, and certainly beating the big boys is what gets you up in the morning.
Stuart Dobson spotted Eastern promise where others saw a problem. His enterprise, Elm Grove Foods, has driven demand in Asia for meat products that others saw as waste. Turnover this year will top 25 million.
I do think that being prepared to get your hands dirty and being stuck in and know your business is absolutely critical. Just, you get an opportunity, always go for it. Never look back.
Gabriel Moyna heads up cybersecurity company Sysnet Global Solutions. He employs more than 160 people and is winning business in over 40 countries.
You go out and you meet with potential clients, you tell them all about your business, you respond to their questions, and when they pick you, it's a very nice feeling. And so I think I'm more driven by the sales element of it. I like to win deals. I don't know if you get to a point where you go, okay, well, that's enough now. You continuously want to keep growing the business. So I think what drives me is I want to be successful. I want our company to be seen as the leader in what we do, and I don't know if we'll stop until we get there. When I ask myself why I'm doing it, it usually occurs at 4 a.m. in the morning, getting up to catch a flight, and in Ireland when it's raining and your blood sugar is low, you start wondering why you're doing it. But then all you need is one good meeting and one good deal, and it brings you right back into it.
George Mullen's work is admired by millions of sports fans. His company, SIS Group, employs over 200 people, laying the carpets in some of the world's most famous stadia.
For SIS, we started out, we're a small company, but we set ourselves very clear goals. We want to be the most recognised brand name in the sports, turf and artificial grass business, and we want to be the most profitable, and we want to have the best employees. I don't really see any point in coming second.
Well, some truly outstanding nominees there, leading the way on a long and winding road. Let's meet tonight's final Fab Four.
Mark Roden has bounced back from previous setbacks in business to make a phenomenal success out of Ding, enabling people working abroad to instantly send top-ups to mobiles back in their home country.
We're connected to 300 mobile operators, all in the emerging markets that support 3 billion mobile phones. And so we've a way of adding value to people no matter where they are in these countries. Instantly, in 3 seconds, they can have $5 added to their phone, sent by a husband or a loved one who's working abroad. Much better than flowers.
Dermot Smurfett's company, Game Account Network, floated on the London and Dublin stock exchanges last year. With a bloodline that is pure pedigree, he understands exactly what it means to be an entrepreneur.
It means sometimes committing too much time and too much energy to a company that my wife describes as my first child. And I have 3 children, and I always need to try and maintain the perspective that my human children are as important and frequently more important than my first child, my eldest child, which is Game Account Network. Ultimately, you have to judge yourself by your own decisions. And if you can't judge yourself and find yourself wanting, then you probably shouldn't be an entrepreneur. Confidence is the fuel of ambition, but confidence is also the alcohol for the foolish man. The number one advice I'd give to people is stick to your vision.
Originally from Glenamaddy in County Galway, Luke and Brian Comer started as plasterers, but built up an astonishing portfolio of property assets in the UK and Germany. Now they've come home.
We're born in Ireland, and Ireland is where the heart is. It's a difficult thing to say, but this recession gives us the opportunity to come back.
We came through at least 3 major recessions, and all of those times we needed to dig very deep. If we weren't a family, I don't think we would have got over them. And there's nobody like your brother that'll work with you at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mike Stack's Tricell is a second-generation family business. It manufactures wastewater treatment plants, septic tanks, pumping stations and rainwater harvesting tanks, employing 245 people.
Well, being a finalist has been a fantastic experience for us, particularly for the people who work in Tricell, in the factory. I was talking to some guys and I said, I'm not here to win this thing, I'm here to enjoy it and enjoy the experience. And they said, get out of it, everybody's here to win it. We're all competitive and obviously everybody wants to win it, I guess. But I suppose I take a view with most things in life that we'll go with the flow on this thing and see how it goes and not be overly excited about performance or what people think of me. I'll just be myself and do my own thing, and what happens, happens.
I love that attitude. Irish, we'll go with the flow and whatever happens, happens. That's what's brought 37 All-Irelands back to the kingdom, I'd imagine. But will Mike Stack be bringing silverware home tonight to put on Kerry's heaving mantelpiece?
Please welcome to the stage to tell us Jeremy Fitch from Invest Northern Ireland, Margaret Harty from Intertrade Ireland and Tom Hayes from Enterprise Ireland.
The international finalists have dared to dream big, and they've turned those dreams into reality.
Ambassadors for excellence, these companies have represented the very best of us in the furthest corners of the globe.
This year's International Entrepreneur of the Year is Mark Roden.
In the words of our judging panel, tonight's third winner has drawn on all his experience in business to emerge as a world-class entrepreneur. His business is born out of a passion to connect people all over the globe. And tonight, his vision and the sheer scale of his ambition has made the difference. Mark Roden is the 2014 International Entrepreneur of the Year.
Minister Bruton, Mike, Ernst & Young, Frank O'Keefe, all the Ernst & Young team, Padraig and the judges, thank you so much for all the time that you gave us, the finalists. You've put all of us on the global stage, and thank you for doing that. David Shackleton, 8 years ago, I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be Ding without you, so thank you so much. To my fellow directors, David Hargadon, to Ray Nolan, Mark English and Ivan Blackwell, your support has been invaluable along with the other 200 Ding people, so thank you so much. To my children at home watching on television, Sophie, Chloe and Tom, and to Lucy in Coláiste na Ringe, I'm sure you're not watching, but finally Nicola, my wife, my love, my life, you're everything to me, this is for you.
Join us after the break when we give out a special award for a lifetime achievement.
And there's also the small matter of anointing the 2014 Entrepreneur of the Year.
Be right back. And you're very welcome back. Well, every year, this gala night recognises an individual whose work has made a deep and positive difference in Irish life. And to announce the recipient of this year's special award, will you please welcome the EY partner in charge of Entrepreneur of the Year, Frank O'Keefe.
Every leader wants to make a mark, but when history of Irish enterprise is written, this year's special award winner will have etched a lasting impression. On the world stage, he was instrumental in breaking down trade barriers, unleashing the potential of European and global economies. Our special award winner also spearheaded initiatives in areas like education and immigration that have changed millions of lives for the better. No other person alive has ever been given all three of the following: a papal knighthood, a knighthood from the Queen of England, and the French Légion d'honneur. And tonight, he comes home to receive a very special recognition from his own.
All careers kick off with a mixture of hope and expectation. One battling Irishman, though, has won the hard yards on the global stage and become a game changer in the fields of business, politics and law. At just 34, UCD graduate Peter Sutherland became the youngest Attorney General of Ireland. In 1985, he went on to be the youngest ever European Commissioner.
He was given the role of competition commissioner, and he transformed that role. His forceful style, his determination, his pushing the boundaries of the treaties to secure airline liberalisation, telecom liberalisation, all those initiatives, he made a significant contribution to European integration.
Peter Sutherland, when he became EU Commissioner, he was the one who drove the liberalisation agenda. He's very much the father of the low-fares airlines in Europe, and it's the low-fares airlines that have been one of the great success stories of the European Union. That is a testament to Peter Sutherland's vision, foresight and courage in taking on what were at the time government-owned airline monopolies.
In 1993, as Director General of GATT, Peter negotiated an historic reform of world trade.
As head of the GATT in Geneva, he achieved in 8 months what others could not achieve for some years.
He's always been a game changer. You know, it's a very impressive CV when you think this was a lawyer, worse still, a lawyer educated in Gonzaga, I'm ashamed to say, but he drove a liberalisation agenda. His contribution can't be underestimated.
A year later, Peter applied the free market game plan globally as the first head of the World Trade Organization. He never came up short, though, in the public service sphere.
Peter Sutherland has always been very passionate about higher education. He's the chair of the London School of Economics Board, one of the world's great higher education institutions. And it was Peter's idea, the European Erasmus programme, which is the European Student Mobility Programme. Now, to date, over 2 million students have benefited from, and in many cases been transformed by that programme. And he achieved that in a very understated way, as is very typical of the man.
In 2006, Kofi Annan appointed Peter UN Special Representative on Migration, a role he fulfills to this day.
He really has encouraged people to think about how they will gain from migration, but also how will they deal with some of the issues that result from migration. And we all, as countries, need to deal with that, and he has given them a mechanism to do that.
Whatever the battle, Peter led from the front. With the Ireland Fund of Great Britain, he pioneered the Forgotten Irish campaign. As chairman of BP, he oversaw one of the biggest corporate mergers in history. He serves on the boards of banks and telecoms. Ireland has never had a more influential player in the corridors of power or the boardrooms of the world.
He's very tenacious, dogged, like a lot of ex-front row forwards. Doesn't take no for an answer, but he's got his first-class mind. He's kind of examined subjects, things that he passionately believes in. I think the thing about Peter is that he really cares. He cares about people, and he really cares about Ireland.
Businessman, statesman, and rugby-loving lawyer, the goals this Irishman has achieved may never be surpassed.
Please welcome to the stage this year's Special Award winner, Mr. Peter Sutherland.
It's very difficult to continue looking humble during an introduction of that kind, but I'm immensely honoured and privileged to be invited here in my own place to receive an introduction as generous as the one that I've just received. But I'm grateful also, more particularly, to Ernst & Young for the fact that I'm part of a celebration. Ireland sometimes seems, to somebody who has spent most of the last 30 years abroad, albeit constantly back here, more involved in denigration than celebration. And what I've seen from abroad, even in the worst moments, is something to celebrate. I feel somewhat like an imposter here today on an occasion which celebrates entrepreneurs. I've never been an entrepreneur. I very much doubt that I could ever have contemplated being an entrepreneur. But they are the heroes in many ways of our time, because they have shown a dimension to our little place, a little place that has a big footprint, but a big footprint that is being made bigger by what they have done and what they are doing for our own. Maybe it's an excess of patriotism to talk about Ireland in the way that I'm now talking about it, but it comes from the heart. I believe in this place and I believe in our people. Not that we're better, but that we're certainly up to any challenge, as I hope we are demonstrating in recent times. So to be honoured here this evening on an occasion which celebrates achievement, celebrates achievement in areas which I could only dream of personally, is an enormous privilege. It's an enormous honour. And it's a great thing for me, as an Irishman, to come home to this type of honour. Thank you all very, very much indeed.
What lovely words of pride there from Peter Sutherland. Now we're moving close to the climax of the evening, and you can really feel the tension building in the room. There are over 1,500 people here with their own stories of survival and success. But you know what? Tonight is really about three very important people, one of whom will become the Entrepreneur of the Year 2014. And thankfully, for once, I don't have to talk about phone lines or voting, because the voting has already been cast. So please welcome the man in the know, EY Managing Partner, Mike McCurr.
Minister Britain, 2014 finalists, ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to host the 17th EY Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. Collectively, our finalists employ over 6,000 people across the island, and last year alone created 1,000 new jobs. Representing 11 sectors, including technology, food, manufacturing and construction, these entrepreneurs are all bound by one common thread: limitless vision. Their vision inspires others and has enabled them to lead the re-emergence of a vibrant Irish economy through commitment, drive and hard work, overcoming the many hurdles placed in their paths. To illustrate, our finalists generate €628 million in revenue and operate in over 150 countries. Achieving a vision is rarely possible without the support of a talented and dedicated team. These entrepreneurs are surrounded by highly engaged individuals with aligned values who contribute hugely to their collective team success. Through our sponsorship of the Ryder Cup, we recently had the honour of witnessing the first Irish captain, Paul McGinley, lead his team to victory. McGinley succeeded spectacularly in the leadership challenge we all face, getting more from a team than the sum of its talented but individual parts. Through a combination of thorough preparation, relationship building, excellence in execution, and personal vision, McGinley generated the trust, confidence and pride that took the European team to an unbeatable level. Like McGinley and his winning Ryder Cup team, our 24 finalists and their teams fully deserve the plaudits and recognition tonight for their ability to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs to emulate their success. The Entrepreneur of the Year programme is itself a great example of collaboration, vision and teaming. And I'd like to say a special word of thanks to all our judges and sponsors who make this the most prestigious business award on the island. Picking a winner is always a tough decision for the judges, and this year is no exception. 3 of the entrepreneurs remain in the running for the overall award. The winner of the 2014 EY Entrepreneur of the Year is Mark Roden Ding. Congratulations. Well done, Mark. Really well deserved. Well deserved.
Thank you very much. I'm completely overwhelmed. I don't know what to say other than to acknowledge all my other finalists first, because I really feel that we have been privileged to be part of this competition, and we are now on a global stage. I'd also like to pay tribute to Peter Sutherland. You've been a hero of mine ever since I was growing up, and I thought your words were just so appropriate and so inspirational. For everyone who has supported me, my wife, my children, my extended family. I'm the youngest of 11. To all my sisters, my brothers, who've supported and loved me over the years, thank you so much. To Mum and Dad, my sister Bid and my brother Dur in heaven, this is for you.
Congratulations. Can I just ask you a question here? Sincere congratulations. As an inspiration for people like me and other entrepreneurs that are following in your footsteps. And there are people out there who have seen your journey with the ups and the downs and ask, what's your advice to somebody who wants to follow as that sort of little nation with the giant footstep, as Peter Sutherland said?
Well, starting a business, you take that decision that you are going to have ups and downs. And it's important to remember that after an up, there is a down, and after a down, there is an up. But you never give up, you keep going, and you just know that if you keep going, keep changing the way that your business is run and adapting to circumstances and building a great team around you, you will get there.
Sincere and profound congratulations on behalf of everyone in this room, Mark. Thank you so much. Well done. Seriously.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Fantastic. Well, what a fitting way to bring our evening to a close. We want to thank all of you again, all our special guests. And we want to congratulate all 24 finalists, our special award winners and all our category winners as well, and especially Mark Roden of Ding, the 2014 EY Entrepreneur of the Year.
And all that's left for us to say is thank you at home for watching, for being here in this crowd tonight. The search is beginning for next year's awards. And if you've learned anything tonight, it could be you. Any one of you watching, anybody in the audience. So what are you waiting for?
From City West, thank you very much for watching. Good night.
Good night.